I'm Armin Van Buuren, DJ from Holland, Grammy nominated with This Is What It Feels Like. I was voted with DJ Magazine's Top 100 poll the winner for 5 times. I have a radio show called The State of Trance. I'm the founder and co-owner of Armada Music in the Netherlands. So we have a lot of labels. We look after a lot of artists. Yeah, I'm a producer as well. So yeah, still touring away. And I'm here now in Miami for Music Week. I think this is my 14th Miami. As Dutch DJs, we grew up listening to the first dance music. And that was at a time where dance music was not around in other countries. So we had pretty underground radio shows on national Dutch radio that were playing the first house records, 1990, 1991. And especially the younger generation, when you're trying to sort of like the stuff that your parents don't like. I guess I fell in love with dance music because my friends were listening to it. It was the cool thing to do at the time. All my friends had turntables. They all bought records. So that's how I started, not thinking that I would ever end up sitting here talking to you guys from the Grammys. And that's just insane, I think also I'd like to mention not only the Dutch DJs that are doing really well, but also event organizers and programmers, club programmers have been very important. I'm thinking about ID&T, for example, who were really important setting up events like Sensation and Inner City and Trance Energy, but also companies like Dance Valley, Extrema. Those are three of the world's most prominent event organizers, and they all come from Holland as well. So it's not only the DJs, but it's also, I think, because we started with events in Holland, so at such an early thing. I think the first big parties were in 92, 93, and I'm talking about 15 to 20,000 people. That was really, really new back then. And every time the event organizers tried to make a better party. So when dance music started to happen in other countries, we already had the knowledge and the DJs to travel. Also, I think dance music crossed over to the top 40 in Holland at a pretty early stage. We had quite a few progressive dance records in the normal national top 40, even at number 1 sometimes. So that had a massive impact on people like myself and people around me, because we all listened to that and we wanted to be that. We wanted to listen to all those records. And then, you really felt that the boom of dance music that the bubble that we're still living in happened in 2008 when guys like, David Guetta really broke through in America with daytime radio. And that's when dance music really sort of blew up. But before that, there was already a really lively scene in Holland, in the UK, in countries like Norway, Japan. So I guess that's sort of my story. I just, for me, I lived and breathed dance music for such a long time. Like I said, I founded the label, and I decided at one point that I don't want to be a CEO anymore. And I decided I want to be, just focused on the music. So I want to be talking to artists about their releases. I want to be talking about the future of trance music. I want to promote it. I want to make radio, because if you make radio, you talk to your fans, you talk to the artists, you're sort of the guy in the middle just passing on the music, really. That's all I do. Trance has evolved over the years a lot. I mean, when I started the radio show in 2001, you just have sort of one type of trance. And right now you have all these subgenres within the trance scene. So you have, let's say the more vocal trance, like the guys like Dash Berlin. You have the deeper trance sound, guys like Simon Patterson and Brian Carney. You have more the uplifting trancey sound, the guys like Ali and Fila, and it's really great to see that trance scene evolve and happening, and all these different sounds coming up. And I'm just, I feel blessed to be part of that. And I'm not even doing it for myself, because on the radio show I play a lot of stuff that's not on my label or actually made by my competition. But I feel that if the scene benefits as a whole, then it will always come back. I think it's important that as musicians that we support each other and help each other, and because the scene needs it. I mean, it's still a relatively small scene. The trance sound is not the most popular sound at the moment, but that's okay. We don't need to be the most popular dance music sound. What I love about the trance music is that the fans are so devoted
online. If you listen to my radio show and you see the chats that go on and on, it is just, and this is what I love about, this is why I've been doing it for such a long time. It's not because of fame or money or whatever. It's just because it's so much fun to communicate with people that are so passionate about this music like myself, and just to give the love to the fans and actually getting it back through social media and Facebook and all that. Well, the Grammy nomination was probably one of the biggest things that ever happened in my life. It's up there with the birth of my children, and because it has such a massive impact, and all of a sudden it was like, okay, there's no doubt anymore. And it's not because of me, but it's just like in general, to get this recognition. And I didn't even know that a nomination itself was like almost winning it. It's like I didn't win the Grammy this time, but just to be nominated, it just opened so many doors for me, and it felt so great to get that recognition because I've been making records for 20 years, and some were good, some were not so good, but to get this recognition is just a massive thumbs up. In life in general, it's very important to constantly ask yourself, am I really loving what I'm doing right now? Because you know what? If you don't like what you do, it shines through. People are not stupid, they can see that. If something's real, people know. And as a DJ, this is how I approach my set. So if I'm playing a track that I'm not feeling, that's not a good thing. I have to feel it with my heart. I have to feel it in my bones. And that is so essential. And this is my answer usually to other people saying, okay, why have you been around for so long, and why you're still doing this? It's because of this feeling. If you're really feeling this music, if you're really passionate about it, and I'm not just saying you like it, no, you love it and you live it and breathe it, then that shines through, and people will always give you love back for that. My studio setup, my to-go to DAW is Logic Pro, because I've been working with it since it was Notator, I think, since a really long time. I just know it. And I love Ableton. I mean, everybody works with Ableton. Is quick, but I don't know, for some reason I prefer the sound of Logic a little bit, but I can't really get away from Ableton. So what I do a lot is I actually sketch in Ableton, and then I export to Logic. I also worked a lot in Cubase back in the days. I made tracks in Pro Tools. I want to stress that, it's all about the chef, not the kitchen. I actually just got rid of my analog mixer. I used to mix with a MIDI sequencer and a lot of outboard gear, and now everything's in the box simply because I'm always on the road. So when I'm on the road, I always bring my laptop with me. I basically have my most important plugins with me on my MacBook. So I'm always sketching on the flights and making edits and mashups. On the stage, I actually use the Pioneer CDJs like everybody, but I use the Allen & Heath DB4 mixer, not the Pioneer mixer, because I feel the Allen & Heath mixer has way more dynamic range, just sounds more clear. My crew wrote a piece of software that makes it possible from a MacBook to sync up visuals, click tracks, backing vocals with the track that I'm currently playing. But this system makes it possible for my crew to follow my actions. And so, for example, when I'm playing my new single, I Need You, I'll cue it up, and the system automatically recognizes that I'm cueing that track. So no matter what BPM I'm playing, my crew can sync up the video that we have with the track. They can sync up backing vocals. They can sync up firework cues. They can, so this timecode system makes it possible, to be a little bit more creative. So I can still change my mind like I did last night. I can still last minute make an edit, put it on the stick, and play it. And this is what I love. But the timecode system also makes it possible to have those cool visuals run in sync with my music. The cool thing about Miami Music Week and why it's so important is I see it as the start of the summer season for. It's basically the New Year's. If there would be a New Year's calendar for DJ land, this would probably be New Year's Day, because this is where DJs come out of their caves to present their new music to the masses. This is when you see a lot of really white-looking DJs walking around on the beach because nobody's seen the sun. Everybody's been in the studio tan. I got to be honest with you, I'm so inspired by all the younger DJs that are coming up now. I really make a point in seeing a lot of new DJs as well, and being inspired by them and see what they're doing, see how they're using their mixer or what tracks they're spinning, and it's so inspiring. And that's what I love about Music Week. It's probably the only time a year that I have time to see other DJs spin. I've just released my new single with Fernando Garibay and Olaf Blackwood called I Need You, and that's really doing well in America. I'm 40 years old, but I'm still going strong, you know.
What's up? This is Monkey from Korn.
It's El King.
Mark Hoppus.
Kendrick Lamar.
Tori Kelly.
We're Lucas Graham.
I'm Chris from Motionless in White.
What's up? This is Problem.
I'm Lindsay Sterling, and make sure to subscribe so that you can see more videos from incredible artists.